have been given the challenge homeless to housed. We have a real issue with increasing homelessness, increasing use of bed and breakfast and temporary accommodation, which is just really not appropriate. And so we have challenged the contestants to come up with an action plan on how we can stop our over-reliance on bed and breakfast, how we can make better use of temporary accommodation, and how we can have better pathways from homelessness into permanent housing.
In regards to single homeless, the island has seen an increase of 500% since 2015. In regards to households, the number, much like the rest of the country, is increasing month on month, and we're finding that our use of B&B is increasing significantly. And what that's meaning for us as a local authority is that we are placing more and more families in bed and breakfast, which obviously means that children don't have access to places to cook meals, they don't have a place to do their homework, and obviously those type of environments aren't conducive, I suppose, to people being able to build and become the best that they can be.
Today we went to AJ's bed and breakfast. There we were lucky enough to meet some service users who are homeless, who have been housed in temporary accommodation and emergency accommodation. In a bed and breakfast, I met a young man who'd been there for 2 days. Obviously something had happened which meant he was in that situation, which wasn't great, but in speaking to him he kind of told us that all he really wants at the moment is to be able to access some education and kind of move on from the bed and breakfast into kind of more permanent accommodation.
We've taken this opportunity to develop a transformation programme of prevention and early intervention of homelessness to eradicate the need for B&Bs altogether.
There's already lots of work being done in kind of reducing homelessness and improving housing, but ultimately what isn't kind of wrapping all around it is changing the perceptions. There's a very negative perception currently of homeless people, of new homes being built, and there's lots of backlash. So the ultimate idea is around changing those perceptions.
Earlier today the teams met with some service users who are members of the local community who are residents in some temporary accommodation, and the stories were really affecting it, and I think it really impressed upon the team the importance of this challenge.
The first team I spoke to, their ideas were brilliant. Obviously talking about getting a school, turning that into like a hub, which was pretty good with showers. I gave me the idea of making it like a educational space as well. Get somebody to come in to volunteer, do haircuts and things like that for homeless people.
They've come up with some really, really good and quite innovative ideas. I've been really impressed by some of the innovative thinking, some of the challenges they pose, the questions, and trying to come up with some ideas that perhaps the Isle of Wight haven't yet looked at, and they might find it really helpful in tackling their issue of homelessness.
I can tell you that it's not a unanimous vote, but the winner of this challenge is Team Thrive. So well done. I really like the idea of how they put people together in terms of sharing homes. Can we put together people who've got spare space in their homes with people and families who might need some form of accommodation? The use of an app in terms of trying to identify people who've got an offer that would help homeless people or people who are in need of temporary accommodation. All very interesting and something that we'll be definitely taking forward further.
There were some excellent presentations today and demonstrating what a dynamic bunch there is in the local authority sector, and it'll be a pleasure working with people like that from the private sector business that we are. So I think it's been good that we've been able to sponsor it and get a little window onto what goes on behind the scenes in local authorities and what some of the challenges are.
When you win, you get that extra boost. The last one I was in, I won in that team as well, and I think it really boosts you forward. You've literally got a month and you're back again, so you can take some of that excitement forward. I think seeing the opportunities of Luton and coming up with what they'll be looking at as a challenge will be quite good. And yeah, just can't wait to hear who's in the final and take my idea forward, hopefully.
Yeah, it's definitely getting more serious now. I mean, this was a difficult challenge, there's no doubt about it. They found this really challenging. First time we've had an island challenge, quite a unique environment, and none of them had any experience of housing. And I think they're all really looking now towards that final and how they're doing. So actually to find such a tough challenge, I think has stressed them slightly. But it means that there's still all to play for when we get to Luton for the final challenge. So can't wait to see what that is and how they deal with it.